struggle trying to find people to work with and partners and going into business together. So how did you find him?
It's good that actually, because a lot of the time when you start a business, it's usually with one of your mates, which means they're similar, which means it's not going to work because you've both got the same attributes. I met him through two of my friends, one of Mike's friends as well, and he's their brother, he's our older brother, and he comes from a teaching background. He was a teacher. He was a PE teacher, and then so his attributes outweigh mine. I'm very good at more marketing side of things, bringing audience in, and he's very good at fulfillment. But together, like it's a really good match. So yeah, we're just kind of working things out that way.
But how did you find him? How did you guys? You said he's.
I'm friends with his brothers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean that's one step away from family and friends, but it's okay.
Yeah, but I think that's where a lot of people get things wrong when they're starting businesses. I had 2 clothing lines that were just not great. Like I did it because I was like, I want to make my own clothes from wearing everyone else's all the time, and then realised my friends he was just wanted to do all the stuff I was doing. So I was like, we're missing out like the fulfillment. We've got to do find the suppliers, the orders, all that kind of stuff that you don't want to do the admin.
So you all wanted to do the bit that you're both good at.
Yeah.
No one doing the stuff you're not good at.
Yeah, so that's why it works well with me and Jamie.
Yeah, I think for most people, I'm thinking about PTs out there myself now, or guys that are trying to get into business to like, if you're a guy trading your time for money, you said it, not me. Like you're fully maxed out. You've got all your hours. If you're able to get all your hours filled out in a gym and have PTs, that means people like you. And I think, because I did a bit of PTing during COVID as well. I mean, people love me, so I'm fine. But it was like if you can fill out physical space and you can fill people and they can actually spend their time with you, then you have a skill where you can sell. You definitely can sell. Yeah. So you said you connect with people well. You would have learned that from selling clubs in Marbella when you were 20 to then doing PT and speaking to people about their problems and basically being a therapist for a personal training session. Like I feel like that communication is the number one skill that you need to learn. And if you're a good PT, you should never be afraid of like utilizing that skill on the phone, via text message, on emails, all these sort of things. It's a different medium, like different media that you're using for the same skills that you've already built.
It is actually quite tough because you need to be confident, but confidence only comes from repetitions of what you're already doing. You need to know what you're talking about. But to have lots of clients in the gym, that's organic traffic, that's footfall coming into the gym so you can grab them. But if you're going online, you need to create your own niche. And your niche is what you are. So you can go through the struggles of where you've got from A to B. So fixing your prospects' problems essentially, right? But then you've got to get good at content. You've got to have the right content, give some value, which way I find a lot of people struggle because they're not comfortable in front of a camera. But I say to them all the time, you probably weren't comfortable when you first stepped in a fucking gym, but here you are. But people need to get over that, especially with all the tools and accessibility we have today. We have everything at our fingertips. So all you've got to be is come up with a plan, which we give you, execute it consistently, and then you will get to where you want to be. But people get lazy. Like, if I stopped because I had a few fails at the start of my business, I would never be in a situation where I can now coach coaches to get to their first 10, 20, 30K a month, And people are moaning to me on the phone, like, this isn't happening because I'm not good at this. I was like, fucking grow up. Just keep doing it every day, I didn't have anyone telling me what to do or giving me any mentorship. I just did it. Like, are you in it because you love it, or are you just trying to do it for cash? If you're doing it for cash, you're not going to get very far. This is fair.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think what I thought to myself is you can continue going down the road that you're going as a PT, trading your time for money, and you can make a certain amount of money, or you can put all of your or some of your energy into this business, which is going to become, it's not quite passive income, but it's going to become income where you're not trading for your time for your money. And even if you make 50 quid, but you don't have to do anything for it.
Yeah.
It feels like 500, you know what I mean? Because you're like, okay, so I built out my system, I built out my product, I'm now selling that thing, and I just kind of sit here and it sold. And something else sold. And I haven't had to physically do anything because all the work has been done and the systems have been built and the team is in place. So it's like, once you go down that road and the money starts coming in, it's like you can see the future where you can stop trading your time for money and you can just do this thing. But I think what people don't realize is if you don't try at the beginning and you don't fail and you don't keep going, then you're always going to just be doing what you're doing anyway. So it's like, if you don't want to trade your time for money, you don't want to be in the gym from 5 till 10 at night, you have to do something different. And this is what blows my mind about, not PTs, but about 9-to-5 workers. They all talk about side hustles and all this crap that you see on the internet. It's like, you either do it or you stick to your 9-to-5. Like pick what your life's going to look like. You either want your life to look like everyone else's, or you want your life to look like Joss in Dubai, sitting there, chilling out, having fun. You know, like there's two choices, and it comes down to where you want to put your energy. You know what I mean? So I think for these guys, it's scary, but the other choice is what?
That's what you need to be. If you bet on you, you've got to make it work. People who have 9-to-5 jobs, they go on about safety. You ain't safe. You work for someone else. If you ain't got, if you put everything in your basket, you've got no other option but to make it fucking work. Otherwise, you'd be homeless.
But I think that comes down to self-belief, right?
Yeah.
So how do you foster self-belief or self-confidence? I mean, you're obviously a very confident guy. So how do you foster that, and how do you create that, you think, for these guys?
Never used to be, bro. I was like a dweeb at school. I was the smallest guy. I used to play rugby and everything. I used to get fucking, like, I was tiny. I used to get beaten up all the time. And I think that's what probably made me want to become who I am. You know, I think it has to probably come from something that's happened in your life to get there. You know, again, people working doing 9-to-5, they're probably comfortable, which is a scary fucking place to be in. But then they're the people who give you the most shit as well.
Well, I think life kind of works slowly. So like if you become comfortable, life gets harder and harder and harder and harder, but you lose the ability to adapt to life because you've just stuck at one thing. So if you get that 9-to-5 job and you're comfortable and your mortgage is paid and your kids are fed and everything else, it's like, cool. But then if something changes in the world, like they introduce AI and you lose your job, so you don't have that movability because you haven't bet on yourself, you've bet on someone else. So it's like, but I think for people to be able to bet on themselves, they need to stack up victories. They need to build self-confidence.